Hello, my name's Judy and I run the 200-hour yoga teacher training programme here at Merchant City Yoga. Now, one question I often hear from folk who are interested in joining the yoga teacher training programme is my yoga practice good enough? Do I know enough about yoga? Now, generally, my assumption when I'm asked that question is that they're talking about their yoga posture practice. And what I always say to them is that I'm more interested in hearing about their experience of their yoga practice rather than how well they perform some of the yoga postures. So with that in mind, it's a little bit more subjective about where you need to be in your practice when you think about joining a yoga teacher training programme. So what I always say to people is that what we're looking for during the course of the year of our programme is effort and progress. So there's no absolute answers as to the postures they have to be able to execute at the beginning, just as the same as I can't guarantee that they'll be able to do any of these spectacular postures by the end of the course. But what I'm looking for across the 12 months is effort and change, a willingness to learn, an openness to experiment. Having said all that, wanting to do challenging, spectacular postures is great, but you don't have to be able or want to do that to join a yoga teacher training programme. The programme here, what I hope is that we support you, and by the end you will feel comfortable and confident about sharing what it is that you know with a group, whether that's in a formal setting of a class or with family and friends. So what it is that you're sharing will very much depend on what it is that you are practicing. Another question that I'm often asked is, well, what about the Ashtanga practice? Our yoga teacher training programme, for the asana, for the posture part of the programme, we base it around Ashtanga Yoga's primary series of postures. Ashtanga Yoga is a strong and dynamic form of yoga, and we use this for a number of reasons. Myself and June Mitchell, the course director, are particularly passionate practitioners of Ashtanga Yoga ourselves, and we believe that it's a really effective yoga method. As well, as part of the programme, we ask you to develop a self-practice. So that's a practice that is led by you rather than by a teacher or practicing along with a video or a recording. And because Ashtanga Primary Series is a set sequence, that makes that a little bit easier. So it takes the thinking out of it a little bit for you. You don't have to remember postures and counter postures. You simply do as much or as little of the sequence as you have time for that day. Another reason that we choose to use the Ashtanga Yoga method is that within primary series, within this sequence of postures, we come across just about every family of yoga postures that you'll be practicing and that you may go on and teach. So while we don't do every single yoga practice, what we will do is teach you each posture of primary series. We'll break it down for you, help you understand that posture, and in doing that, it's going to help you understand that family of postures. And we're also going to help you understand how you can teach that posture and how you may want to offer some assist or support to students who you're teaching that posture to. So by the end of it, even if you're not going to continue to practice Ashtanga or you're not going to teach Ashtanga, you have this great toolkit of yoga postures that you've got a real understanding of. You know it in your own body, you've been practicing it. You understand enough about the posture that you can adapt and offer alternatives for students who are struggling with injury or illness, for those low energy days. You're able to take into account any other factors that are going on for yourself as well as for anybody you're sharing the practice with. Now, I completely appreciate that there's a lot more yoga styles out there beyond Ashtanga. So what I do as well is I invite guest teachers to join us on the course, each of whom is immersed in their own style of yoga. So what I want to do is give you an experience of these different styles of yoga, and that may be something that you want to pursue after the teacher training program completes or not. And in this program, what I'm hoping is that you'll have a good solid foundation of understanding so that you can be discerning when you choose to go on. You've got a great foundation, a great platform to continue your practice and study after the course is finished. So for example, I invite in fantastic teachers of Iyengar, Yin Yoga, Vinyasa Flow, Shivananda style, Scaravelli style. So all of these are going to give you a breadth of experience within this thing called yoga. So if you think you might be interested in joining us, drop me a wee email. Maybe tell me a little bit about yourself and about your yoga practice, and perhaps a little too about why you're thinking about a yoga teacher training just now. Thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.